Hello, everybody, and welcome to the best film cast. Oh, Jesus. I'm already screwing up. I'm hosting this week because Trey's a bit under the weather. Welcome to the Average Film Enjoyers podcast. Yeah, Trey's a bit sick, so
Yes.
I'll be talking. How are you doing?
I well, I everything else besides being sick is going pretty good. Being sick sucks ass, but I did get a job.
Hell yeah.
Shout out to all the Real Talk fellas that are gonna listen to this. All the Real Talk Discord boys. I will no longer be at the top of the leaderboard every month because I haven't worked. The reason I was because I hadn't worked for like 5 months. So I was just watching the movies every day. The movies. I was watching the movies
Yeah.
every day, which is why I was able to put up insane numbers of diary logs. But I have a job again, so it'll definitely take a severe downtick from what I have been doing.
I'll make up for your lack.
Appreciate it,
I'm
pimp.
lucky with my job that I get off work at 11 a.m.
Yeah, that's sick. But yeah, I started at Chipotle, which has been pretty cool. I'm working on the grill, so I am basically in charge of like cooking all the hot stuff, so rice, beans, meats,
What's
all
up?
that all that good stuff. It's a pretty good time. I'm still trying to get good at it. It's very difficult. Um, but it's been a good time. I have like 18 burns on my hands and a massive
Yeah.
blister from cutting meat. So that kind of sucks, but it's nice to be working again.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Oh, and on Friday, do you know who Nate Bargatze is, Evan?
Yeah. Yeah.
So he came to Portland, and I had gotten tickets to see him for Christmas. So I went with my brother to see him on Friday,
Nice.
and it was awesome. I love stand up. It was so
Yeah,
fun.
me too. I haven't been in a long time, but I love going. I saw Tom Segura
Oh, the
right before
goat,
the
dude.
pandemic, and it was such a fun show.
He's so funny.
Yeah, that was really
He's so
fun.
funny. How are you doing? How's your week been?
It's been good. It's been pretty chill. I've been working lots. I finally got to the theaters and I saw Zone of Interest, which I'll touch on later. I'm actually going to see it again in like 3 hours. With my grandma.
That's
So
crazy, dude.
that's gonna be not fun, but I'm excited to see it again, see how it holds up.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been busy. I mean, I'm just chilling. I bought a Lego set, so been doing that.
What kind of
Yeah,
Lego
it's really
set?
sick. I got a Lego architecture model of Himeji Castle. It's fucking sick.
That's dope.
I bought it right
Dude.
after I saw Zone of Interest because I was in a shit mood and I was like, I need something happy.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Do
Um,
you like do like when you do Legos, are you like just doing the Legos?
no.
Or I like putting on a movie and doing
I
Legos.
watched
That's
Blade
like the
Runner this
vibe.
morning while I built Lego.
Oh my god, what a vibe.
It was a
Just
good time. It
immaculate
was a
vibe.
very good
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
I was trying to figure out what to watch, and I was like, you know what, I've got some time to kill. And I was like, I bought the final cut of Blade Runner on Blu-ray for like $3 at the pawn shop or the thrift shop, and I was like, I haven't watched this yet, and it's been years since I saw it. I'm gonna do it.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah. That's a vibe.
Today we are here to talk about Platoon, but first touch on some movie news. Some
Yes.
some cool stuff. Something not so cool though. Chris Rock will be directing an English language remake of Another Round. So wrong for so many reasons. Like first off, this is not a very old movie. Why are we remaking it?
Yeah.
Second, why Chris Rock? Like Spiral was not a very good movie.
Yeah.
So I
And
don't have high hopes for this.
yeah, when you said that like right before we hit record,
Yeah.
my instant thoughts went to Spike Lee's Old Boy.
Oh yeah.
And I'm just like, God, why are we doing this, guys? Come on. We don't need to remake this.
No. It's ridiculous. That movie is so good. It's brilliant. I saw it at the Calgary Film Festival here. So I got to see it
Yeah.
like 4 or 5 months early. It was so good.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. So who knows? Leonardo DiCaprio is producing it. Interesting. We'll see. Be
Yeah.
curious to see what the castings are. Um, Next, we have the Coen brothers reuniting to direct a pure, very bloody horror movie. W.
Yeah. That's a
Sounds
massive
amazing.
W. It's something
Yeah.
we haven't seen from the Cohen brothers before, and they just they I feel like they're one of those directors that just never miss.
Yeah, absolutely.
Besides Hail Caesar,
Oh,
everything else is just a certified banger.
yeah, well, I don't need to watch that, but I haven't seen it.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, it's cool that they're coming back together. They made a few movies on their own. We got
Mhm.
absolute peak, in my opinion, The Tragedy of Macbeth. Oh my God. I love that
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah.
Uh, but yeah, so that's pretty sick. Big news: Millie Alcock has been cast as Supergirl in
Mhm.
Superman Legacy alongside David Cornsweet. It's pretty sick. She was really good in House of the Dragon.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited for that. I don't love Superman. Like, he's not my favorite superhero, so I don't really like. I'm not super hooked, but I trust James Gunn. Like, Guardians of the Galaxy 3 is perfect.
Yeah.
He's made a lot of peaks, so that's pretty sick. Oh, I was just saw something about Dune on the discussing films. I got
Yeah.
uh fan early access tickets to go see Dune 2 5 days early in IMAX,
Oh, that's a massive W.
February 25th. So fucking hyped. Oh my God. I was like, shit, I don't have enough money to buy them right now because it's expensive. It's like $65 because
Yeah.
I was buying tickets for me and my brother and my girlfriend. And uh, so I got up, I woke up at like 3:30 on Friday, payday. First thing I did was buy Dune tickets. I was like, this is the most important thing. Need Dune. Yeah. So super excited, like less than a month ago. Uh, yeah, that's gonna be sick. We got I don't know if you saw this. We've got this new horror movie from Neon coming out, Long Legs, which the trailers, they're just like these little quick teasers, super creepy.
Oh, is that the one that the trailers have been going like viral?
Yeah. So
Yeah,
we got the
dude, it
first
looks
poster
sick.
for it today. Here, let me.
Yeah.
Did you see this poster? It's crazy.
Did you shoot it to me in Discord?
Yeah, I'm gonna send it right now. It's
Okay.
Micah Monroe, who Watcher is amazing, so this is bound to be
It
sick.
Micah Monroe
And
were
Nicolas
they
Cage.
Oh, Nick Cage.
There, I
Nick
just sent it.
Cage. Oh, here it is.
Creepy as shit. It's like this girl with no shirt on and she's got a knife just running up her stomach and
Yeah,
yeah,
I'm
it
excited for that. That looks
I'm
sick
super
as fuck.
excited. I'm hoping that we get like a resurgence of some cool original horror. I mean, we've got like Smile 2 coming out and stuff like that, but hopefully
Which
this
I'm
is
excited
peak.
for. The first Smile was
Yeah,
pretty good.
yeah, the first one I really enjoyed actually. That was super creepy. I remember they played the teaser for it before Top Gun Maverick, and it was before they even like said the name of the movie, and it was just the scene when she's in the hospital and that dude is like doesn't stop smiling. Yeah, I was like, holy shit, this looks
Yeah.
creepy as hell. Yeah, I wish
Um
I saw it in the theaters.
yeah. Yeah. That was when I first got Letterboxd. I can't remember how like soon. I think that was one of the first like 50 movies I logged on
Oh yeah,
Letterboxd. And I remember calling my buddy. It was like 2 a.m. and I was watching it. And I remember calling my buddy and being like, dude, this movie is so terrifying. I don't know if I can finish it. It's scaring the shit out of me. Yeah, that one was really good. One headline that I wanted to bring up. So David Coep is writing for a new Jurassic World film for Universal. So if
mm.
you don't know who David Coep is, that sounds terrible because Jurassic World Dominion
Oh,
was one of the worst pieces of media I've ever seen. According to Jagger, it is better than Jurassic Park, the OG,
mm.
which is just a
Does he not like
illiness take.
Jurassic Park or he loves Dominion?
He has Jurassic World Dominion at a 3.5 and Jurassic Park at a 3, which is
That's
just
fucked.
insane to me.
That
Jurassic Park is one of the. I think that's my number one. Sorry, I'm adjusting here, but I think that's my number one rated Spielberg.
yeah.
Um, it's a W. But I just read David Coep wrote the first Jurassic Park and the second one.
Hmm.
Um, which again, first Jurassic Park, one of the greatest movies ever made. So I think this could be good, but I don't know. I'm cautiously hopeful.
Yeah. Man, I remember the first time I saw Jurassic Park, my brother showed it to me. We're
Yeah,
in the
it's
basement,
amazing.
volumes absolutely cranked, and it's just that scene. And when they're like hiding in the kitchen, the water cups rumbling. Oh, it's so peak. Yeah, Jurassic Park's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Um.
we got a trailer for a new Guy Ritchie movie that has a super funny name to me. The
What's
shit,
it
I gotta
called
pull it up.
again?
It's called bad podcasting. Here we go. The Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare, starring Henry Cavill. Yeah, this looks pretty fun.
Yeah, that sounds dope.
Here, this is a
And I
screen
saw
grab from the trailer I just sent
I
you.
I saw the trailer too,
Oh
and
yeah,
it
yeah,
looks yeah, that shot specifically. It just looks like a fun time.
yeah. So I mean, I love Guy Ritchie. I'm a Guy
Yeah,
Ritchie meat rider. Snatch
except
is one of
for
my
the
favorite
Covenant.
movies. I haven't even seen that one yet.
Yeah, it's rough.
I feel like I won't like it because it's I like Guy Ritchie's style, and I've
Mm-hmm.
heard this is quite a change up. Oh my God, breaking news. Remember we were talking about that SNL movie last week?
Yeah, did something
Dylan
just break?
O'Brien and Corey Michael Smith will star as Dan Aykroyd and Chevy Chase in SNL 1975.
Hell yeah. I feel bad
Hell
for the
yeah.
guy that has to play Chevy Chase.
Yeah.
Chevy Chase is like a piece of shit.
Yeah, he's a bad dude.
Um, but here's another thing. Uh, Gillian Anderson joins Tron Ares as shooting
Oh,
gets underway. I don't care about the Gillian Anderson part. I do care about the as shooting gets underway.
yeah. Also, that name is dope.
I am gonna make myself a costume um, to go see that opening night.
Yeah,
They
just be
also
sitting in the theater, full neon lights, like,
yeah, uh, and they also I mean that movie I'm so excited for because Evan Peters is going to be in it
ah,
too.
love him.
I mean Jared Leto, but nobody likes Jared Leto.
Yeah.
He sucks. He needs to stop acting.
Yeah, like Dallas Buyers Club is amazing, but that's about it.
I feel like that's the last time he was good.
Yeah, I think so.
He was good when he was younger. Like Requiem is amazing.
Hmm.
He was good on My So-Called Life, but he's really gone downhill.
Yeah. Yeah, that's all we got for movie news. Definitely a
Yeah.
lighter week. Unless you have anything else
No. Yeah.
today. Yeah, let's get into Platoon. This is directed by Oliver Stone. I was reading that he was the first Vietnam War veteran to direct a Vietnam War movie.
Oh, I
Pretty
didn't know
cool.
that. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just pulling up the IMDb list to see what number this is.
I believe it should be like 212 or something like that.
215.
Oh my god, dude.
That's crazy.
Yeah, we've been grinding.
Yeah. Um, yeah, let's get right into it.
Yeah.
This is a great movie. It
Yeah.
follows here, I'll pull up the synopsis just for anyone.
Yeah. It follows Chris Taylor, I think that's his name, right?
Yeah. Chris Taylor, a neophyte recruit in Vietnam, finds himself caught in a battle of wills between two sergeants, one good and the other evil, a shrewd examination of the brutality of war and the duality of man in conflict.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a simple premise, but man, it's really good. I had never seen this before. This was the first time watch for me.
Me as well. Yes.
Was it?
Um,
It was first time for yeah.
yeah, it was first time for me. Stacked cast, by the way.
It was
Holy cow.
yeah, insanely stacked cast. We've got
I mean,
Charlie Sheen, who I mean,
he was astounding here.
He was really good. Yeah.
Yeah. Willem
I'll go off my
Dafoe.
Willem Dafoe,
Tom
Tom
Berenger.
Berenger. We got both Willem Dafoe and Tom Berenger were nominated for this, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Um, we've got Kevin
For
Dillon, Keith
yeah.
David, the GOAT,
Keith David was
John
so
McGinley.
funny in this movie.
Yeah, dude, Keith David, love
Forrest
him.
Whitaker makes a few appearances. Johnny Depp
Hmm
makes an appearance.
Tony
Yeah.
Todd, shout out, another one of the coolest voices. Do you know Tony Todd?
Tony Todd, I do not know.
So he's the coroner in all the Final Destination movies, and then he
Okay.
voices Venom in Spider-Man 2, like the new one, the game.
Oh, that's
He's a
sick as
great voice
fuck.
actor. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah,
This
this
movie,
is.
it really
Oh,
surprised me. I wasn't expecting uh because I mean all I knew was this is a Vietnam War movie. I didn't know the whole duality of good and bad sergeant. Um
yeah.
so that whole aspect really surprised me, and it was so interesting seeing these two like soldiers just being at each other's throats during a literal war, like when the only important thing is staying alive, but they're just so polar opposites. Like Willem Dafoe is, you know, he's trying to be a good sergeant, and Tom Berenger is just like, yeah, let's kill everybody. Don't
Yeah.
give a shit. Like, yeah,
Yeah. Um, I thought it was really interesting, but especially since the first time they kind of like jump you right into it.
yeah,
Oliver Stone does. There's no like you get like that 2 minute scene where like Chris Taylor is like just arriving, and then it kind of cuts to where like he's been there for a week and you're just like right into it, you
yeah.
know. Um
Which I
and
enjoyed. Like, yeah,
yeah, yeah, he doesn't waste any time. And the when you first get introduced to Tom Berenger's character, I think his name is Sergeant Barnes.
yeah,
That sounds right. He is like this badass war sergeant with a scarred up face
yeah,
who's given the orders and all this stuff, and you're like, okay, this guy knows what he's doing. And then you get introduced into Willem Dafoe, kind of this quieter, more supportive staff sergeant, and yeah, I mean, it's a perfect synopsis because it really is just a uh like you know how there's like the devil and angel, like one on each
yeah,
shoulder, like in the old cartoons. Like Tom Berenger and Willem Dafoe are the devil and angel for Taylor.
yeah,
um
yeah.
yeah.
I This movie kind of reminded me of The Thin Red Line, um,
Yeah.
because it's not a very usual war movie where it's like, oh, you get the backstory and it's like you see their families and that's how you get hooked into the characters, and it's like
Yeah.
a bit predictable. But it's a very human movie, and like a lot of these people, you see them in their like rawest form when they're
Mhm.
like on the verge of death, or if it's like when they're raiding that village and they can kind of do whatever they want. And Bunny goes up and he just cracks that guy's face in. Like
Mhm.
Charlie Sheen is so close to, he's got that rage inside him too, but he's like, I'm not gonna kill this person. And like you
Yeah.
kind of see how far this drives them all, but then Bunny's like, yeah, fuck that. I can do whatever I want. Walks up and just bashes his brains in, and he's laughing about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
dialogue in this movie too is also brutal. Like, oh my god. Very
Yeah, I mean, this is just overall a tough movie to
yeah.
get through. There's some really dark sequences. The the first time when Chris Taylor when he falls asleep on his watch and then he
Ugh.
wakes up and he's like staring at that opening, and then he looks away, and then he looks back, and there's something there. Very like horror jump scare elements I felt to that. I
Yeah.
was like on the edge of my seat, just like, oh my god.
Yeah, that
That
scene
was
was
crazy.
brutal. And then you
Um
like right after that you get the one guy, I can't remember his name, arms blown off, like,
yeah.
and everyone is like, Taylor, this is on you. This is your fault. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, it's a portrayal of war that I don't think is shown a lot, where
Yes.
the main, like, it's a movie about the Vietnam War, but the conflict of this movie is about the platoon itself.
I mean, yeah, Taylor even says it at the end as he's flying away. He said, "We never were really fighting the enemy. We were
Yeah.
fighting ourselves."
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, there's some banger lines in this movie
Yeah.
that are just like, shit, man.
Yeah, one thing yeah, I mean, the poster is that infamous shot of Willem Dafoe with his arms up, and like
Yeah.
everybody knows that. I did not know what preceded this scene. I was like,
Mm-hmm.
oh yeah, I know Willem Dafoe dies, but like I didn't know that Barnes straight up shoots him a bunch of times, and so I was like, my jaw was on the floor when that happened.
Yeah. Yeah. It was crazy. I mean, and he was like Willem Dafoe was like the best character too.
Yeah, he was just there to
He's
have a good time.
yeah, I loved watching him. And I think this did I mean, I said it in my review. This did a really good job of like depicting all the stuff that went down during the Vietnam War. Because at the end of the day, it was not a war that we should have been involved in. Um, and no good really came out of it.
Yeah, and like the U.S. lost this war. Like it's interesting watching a war like that.
Yeah. Um, and it's there was a line in here where I can't remember who said it. It might have been Keith David's character, who again, I want to reiterate this. Keith David is the goat. I fucking
Yeah,
love. The more I watch him in not only this but like Carpenter movies,
mm.
I'm just like, holy shit, this guy's
He's
so
just such a
good.
badass.
Um, but it might have been his character, but I can't totally remember. But they said they were like, we've won so many times. It's like that we deserve to get our ass handed to us, which is what
Yeah,
happened.
yeah,
Because not only did we lose hundreds of thousands of soldiers and not even win, it was like a Kickstarter for the heroin epidemic, which is also like looked at in this movie when they're all smoking pot and doing heroin. And
yeah. I
I
was
mean,
reading in the trivia about how like a lot of the painkillers that they were taking were just straight up heroin. So there's like a
yeah,
lot. The fallout of this war was crazy.
yeah, and there's actually a movie that follows that specific part of the war called American Gangster
Oh
with
yeah,
Denzel and Russell Crowe, which to kind of have you seen that movie, Evan?
I've seen it, but not since I was like 12 years old.
Oh goddamn,
Yeah,
dude,
I need to
that
rewatch
movie
it.
is peak. It's so good. Denzel, man, and Josh Brolin is also in it. But yeah, I mean, it was like it's a very very not great part of our country's history. Um,
Yeah. One thing I
and
really loved in this movie was that like I found that a lot of the injury scenes were very drawn out and like really tugging at the heartstrings. But so many deaths in this movie were just like that. Like
yeah,
the instantaneous deaths kind of hit really hard. And I found one thing I wanted to talk about is during a lot of the battle scenes, it's just close ups of people's faces.
yeah,
It's not like these grand scale camera shots a lot of the time. It's just like really close up shots.
yeah. And I think Oliver Stone might have done that intentionally because this was less of focusing on the grand scale of the war and how it like showing like this is what happened, and more like something like Saving Private Ryan
Yeah.
or something like that, and more focused on the individual psyche of a soldier.
Yeah.
Uh, which is why I think he did do that,
Mhm.
is
It's a
focus
great
more on the
choice.
faces. It is. Um, and this makes me. This was my first Oliver Stone movie,
Oh, really?
and at least I think it was. And it makes me want to dive deeper into his filmography, um, because I've heard great things about Natural Born Killers, Wall Street, Born on the 4th of July, Any Given
I really want to watch
Sunday.
more of the 4th of July.
Yeah, I mean he just has a banger filmography, but yeah, he. I mean, this was just such a good movie. It was so good.
Yeah, I gave this a 4.5. I really, really loved it. I want to watch it again, honestly.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know. War movies are probably like I love all genres. I don't discriminate. But if I were to like rank them, war movies would probably be at the bottom. Honestly, um, but I did really, really, really enjoy this. It was very, very well done.
Yeah.
Um,
I
uh,
like war movies. I don't watch a lot of them just because of like you watch the big heavy hitters and then it's kind of like
yeah,
rolling the dice with bad ones. For me,
yeah.
that genre is westerns. I watch like no westerns.
Oh yeah. Have you seen Tombstone?
No, you were telling me about it. I need to watch it.
Oh, Tombstone is a fucking banger, dude. 5 star.
Yeah.
One of the easiest 5 stars I've ever given, actually.
Yeah, I gotta watch that soon. Sorry, I'm just looking through
No,
the.
you're good.
I need to watch Apocalypse Now. That's like the one blind spot in the war
Yeah,
genre for me.
I haven't seen that, unfortunately. But the biggest blind spot in the war. I mean, I feel like I've seen most of the like big ones. Let's see. Um, I mean, I haven't watched Fury
Oh, Fury's
before.
really good.
Das Boot, I've never seen.
Yeah.
Dunkirk, I've never seen.
You haven't seen Dunkirk?
No.
Damn, peak.
But it looks like to transition into this, it looks like that might be our next director
Oh
deep
yeah.
dive is Chris Nolan. Um, so for those of you who don't know, I uploaded a survey last Friday. So you guys could give us your opinions on who you want to see as the next director deep dive. Um, and let me double check it right now. We have 17 responses. I will again put the link down below. Give us your opinion. Your choices are M. Night Shyamalan. That could be fun because we could actually talk about some good movies and then some really shit ones too.
Yeah.
John Carpenter. Give us an excuse to talk about The Thing. The Coen brothers. David Fincher. James Cameron. Chris Nolan, Ridley Scott, Denis Villeneuve, Catherine Bigelow could be super fun, and David Lynch. And so far, you guys have said, with 5 responses, Christopher Nolan is in the lead. Um, so again, keep
What's second right now?
second. It's a three-way tie between Denis Villeneuve, David Lynch, and M. Night Shyamalan. All three of those have 2 votes.
Nice.
Oh, a four-way tie, and David Fincher has 2 as well. Nobody has voted for the Coen brothers. Nobody has voted for Ridley Scott, Catherine Bigelow. You sexists. No, just kidding. And nobody's voted for Lynch, I don't think. Oh, wait, no, I did say David Lynch has 2 votes. I lied.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, Platoon, man. I think the only question we got to answer, does this movie belong in the IMDb top 250?
Yeah. This
I
is
think so
high on
as
my
well.
horror movie ranking. I would,
Yeah.
yeah, I would give this. I need to go through the rest of the list. I mean, there's stuff on there that I don't love as much as this. So yeah, it definitely does. I think everyone should watch this movie. It's a very
Yeah.
unique war film.
Yeah, it's really well done. Um, next week, what do we got next week? Next week we got
Rocky.
Rocky. Next week we got Rocky. This Friday, um, we got Eyes Wide. We're finishing up our Kubrick deep dive with Eyes Wide Shut, and what, in my opinion, the greatest war film, Full Metal Jacket. Um,
Interesting.
and uh, we will be joined. I have confirmation on it. I messaged him yesterday. It's a reunion of the fellas. We will be joined by the one and the only Jagger Nelson. We are very excited to have him back on. It's
Hell
going to
yeah.
be a blast. He'll talk about his new podcast. We'll talk about some films. It's going to be a good time. And then next Tuesday, we are reviewing Rocky. And then next Friday, we're reviewing. We'll see.
If it's
We don't know
Christopher
yet.
Nolan, it's probably going to be The Following, which is I've
The
heard mid.
following and
And
Memento. What's his second one, right?
peak. It's either Memento or
Memento.
Insomnia. I'm
No,
not sure.
Insomnia was like '03. Memento
Oh,
was
I fucking love Memento.
2000.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, Memento's peak.
If it's
So is
Denis,
Insomnia.
we're watching some big time stinkers.
Oh, really?
He took a 10-year gap after making Maelstrom, I think, because it was so bad.
Oh, damn it.
Yeah.
Fuck.
um yeah,
Yeah.
Trey, do
So
you wanna
do
oh
you?
sorry, go ahead.
I no. You go. You go
No. I
first.
was gonna say, do you want to bust through your watch list quick? Because mine is very long. I'll be
How
yapping for a
about
bit.
this? I'll do one, and then you do like two or three, and then I'll do one, and you'll do
Sure.
two or three. You want to do that? All right.
All right, go for it.
So since I have started working, guess what, people? I only have four this week. I have four movies, but also guess what? They're all bangers. Starting off with Aaron Brockovich, starring Julia Roberts. Peak, man.
I need to watch that.
Steven Soderbergh really knows how to write a script.
That's Steven
Uh,
Soderbergh, bro. I fucking love him.
he's so goaded. We should have added him to the survey. I love
We can
Steven
just do that
Soderbergh.
for fun. I fucking love him too.
Um, and it stars Julia Roberts, and Aaron Eckhart is also in it. Love him.
Goat. So
Julia
fucking
Roberts,
underrated.
1000% deserved the Best Actress award here. She was unbelievable.
Did she
Really
win?
good film. She did.
Nice.
She did. Really, really good film. It's also a true story, which is super cool. So go check that out. It's streaming on Netflix right now. Go check it
Ooh,
out, people.
I'll have to check that out.
Yeah.
My
All right,
girlfriend's
Evan.
going to choir tonight, so I got some free time.
Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah. My first watch was Zone of Interest. I want to talk about that later, so because I'm gonna go more in depth on it.
Yeah.
So on the same day after watching The Zone of Interest in a deep depression, I watched Interstellar and built some Lego.
W.
It's peak. It's so peak. I love it. It's one of my favorite sci-fi movies of all time.
Hell yeah.
The next morning, still depressed from The Zone of Interest, I watched Mean Girls. Not the remake, the original. And it's
W.
fucking peak. I've
Mean
seen this
Girls.
movie.
And for all you toxic males out there that are
Yeah,
like, that's just a movie for girls. Or like the same guys who are like, Barbie's just a movie for girls. That movie's
yeah.
dumb as hell. Fuck you. Grow a pair. And
Watch Mean Girls.
exactly, it's fucking hilarious, dude.
It's so funny, bro.
It's so funny.
Yeah. So that was me before I watched this movie, and then my girlfriend was like, "We're watching Mean Girls." She's like, "Get in, loser. We're watching Mean Girls." It's like,
Let me ask you, what's your rating on that?
oh, 5 stars. It's one of my
Five
favorite
stars. Yeah,
2000s
that's a W.
movies.
That's a
I
W.
love it. This is my
That's
fourth time watching it, I think.
that's how I was with La La Land. I was like,
Yeah.
ew, it's a musical. Musicals are not for dudes. And then my sister was like, just watch it. And I was like, that is the greatest movie I've ever seen. That was
Yeah.
unbelievable.
Yeah, Mean Girls is timeless. It is so fucking funny. Like the cast is insane. I mean, it's not a super stacked cast, but like everyone is so good. Lindsay Lohan, like she fits this role perfectly, and then Rachel McAdams. God damn.
Mommy McAdams.
Yeah, Mommy McAdams. Regina George, an all-timer. Amanda Seyfried, also
Oh,
as Karen, one of the
dude.
stupidest characters ever put on screen.
Let's talk about Amanda Seyfried for a second. How
Yeah,
great of an actress is she?
dude, she's
She's
so
so
good.
good,
Yeah,
and she's so hot.
she is very.
She? Oh my god, dude. Whew.
Jennifer's Body is a good time.
Yes, Jennifer's Body is a good time for a lot of reasons.
That's
That's
an
an
underrated
amazing.
one.
Oh my god, it's so good. It's
Yeah,
so good. Um, yeah, Mean Girls is peak.
yeah. And then I wanted to talk to you about this. I watched Super Dark Times.
Massive dub. I
Yeah,
fucking love that
yeah.
movie,
I saw
dude.
that you gave it like a 97 out of 100, and I was like, holy shit! I really liked it. It was super cool.
Right?
Yeah,
It's like
this is
that
a
that first little bit, it gives me like vibes of like just hanging out with your boys during the
yeah.
summer. I don't know. Maybe it was like maybe I need to give it a rewatch or something. But when I watched it, I finished it and I was like, that was unbelievable. I loved that so much.
Yeah, it's really cool. If you guys don't know what this movie is, it's like a very dark coming of age thriller ish. It's kind of hard to describe without
Yeah.
spoiling it, and you don't want it spoiled. Go watch it. It's super cool. It's got
Hmm.
Wyatt from Ozark in it.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, it's really good. I liked it a lot. I watched
Cinematography is
it.
really good too.
Yeah, yeah, it's a beautiful movie.
Yeah, I loved that one. I love
Yeah,
Super Dark Times. Hey, speaking of movies like that, have you seen Chronicle with Dane
dude,
DeHaan?
I fucking love Chronicle.
Chronicle is peak, dude.
That was my first 14A. That's like our rating scales here.
Yeah.
Movie that I ever saw, and it was like I was 14. I was like, I'm finally allowed to go see one by myself. I went and watched that shit. Oh my god, I loved it.
I wish I was in Chronicle. Like I wish I had telekinesis. That was God, dude.
I love
That
Dane
movie was
DeHaan.
oh, he's so good. He's so
Yeah.
good.
Have you seen A Cure for Wellness?
No, but it's been on
Bro,
my watch list for so
I've been
long.
spouting the gospel about this movie for ages. I saw this in theaters multiple times. I was like begging my brother to take me because he was
Yeah.
18 and I wasn't yet, so I couldn't go by myself.
Mhm.
And he was like, it's long, boring looking. And then we walked out and we were like, yeah, that movie's amazing. It's
Wasn't it
it's
isn't it like a
crazy.
horror too?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, it's like Dane DeHaan is this, businessman, and he has to go retrieve his boss from this like Swedish, or it's like some Nordic country, I can't remember. Uh, Ritualistic spa where the guy had like a freak out and he's trying to get
Yeah, I
better.
remember seeing the trailer for this.
Bro,
And I
it
was
is
like that looks
crazy.
fucking terrifying.
It has some amazing body horror in it.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, it's
W.
really great. Jason Isaacs is in it. Mia Goth.
Oh, love me
It's
some
peak.
Mia Goth.
Yeah,
She's
it's
so
really
good.
long. It's maybe too long. It's like over 2.5 hours. I'm pretty sure. It's like, but I
What?
love it so much. It's really good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shout out to Cure for Wellness and Dane DeHaan. Yeah.
Love Dane
Uh,
DeHaan.
what was your next watch?
Okay. This one I'm going to rant a little about. Okay?
Drop it,
I watched 2021's Mortal Kombat. Okay? And
dude. That
hear me out. Hear me out, everybody.
I don't need to hear you out.
I know Evan's with me on
Yeah.
this, but all your listeners, hear me out. Yes, the dialogue is so terrible. Yes, the acting is awful. None of those people should be allowed to act ever again. Yes, the CGI has some issues. Some stuff looks kind of rough. And yes, I didn't give a shit about. Actually, no, the character development was all right. I didn't give a shit about a lot of the characters. Uh, but
This movie
five
kind of fucking
stars.
rips.
Dude, it totally does.
Dude, the opening scene is
Oh,
crazy. Oh my god.
and
In the forest.
the like
Oh,
the amount of homages to the video game is so, like, as a Mortal Kombat player,
Yeah.
it's so sick. Like, from the opening scene when Scorpion, before he's Scorpion, uses his special move where he throws the knife into the guy and then yanks him down. I
Oh,
was like, oh, give it to me. Or at the end when he like, also dope character entrance when he shows up to help fight Sub-Zero at the end, and he gets him and he goes, get over here.
yeah.
That's what he always used to say in the game.
Oh,
And so, and both of those scenes would have made it like a 4.5. Let me tell you why this movie is a 5 star. Literally, only reason is for the scene where Kato is at the that's the Australian guy, right? I can't remember. That's his name. I think that's his name. Guy with the laser eye. Yeah, Kato. They're like first showed up to the temple, and he's training with a guy who can use fire, and the guy sweep kicks him, and Kato gets back up and he's like, don't, come on, let's just fight. And then he sweep kicks him again, and then he's like, don't do that again. And then the guy like fake sweep kicks, and Kato like jumps up, and then he's like, oh, and then he's like, oh, fuck. And then the guy sweep kicks him once he lands back down. And I'm like, oh my God, I used to do that. Just spam sweep
yeah.
kicking. Yeah, it was a fucking blast. The action
Yeah.
is unbelievably cool.
Yeah. It just needs more.
Yeah.
It's a bit slow when they're recruiting in the second act.
Yeah. Rated
But I have
R,
no doubt. Yeah.
which is perfect because of how graphic Mortal Kombat is as a video game.
Yeah.
There's some gnarly kills in here. Also,
Yeah.
can't wait for the second one.
I was just about to say, yeah, the second one's going to be amazing.
Carl Urban as Johnny Cage. Oh
Yeah.
my God. I'm so excited.
So good.
I'm so excited. Mortal Kombat 2021. It's on Max. Go check it out. It's fucking peak. It's so fun.
Yeah.
It's so
It's
fun.
really fun.
Yeah, there's my next one. Give us your next
Yeah.
few, Evan.
Yeah. Next, excuse me. Dude, first off, I'm drinking a juice box right now. They
Juice box
switched to
bang.
paper straws
Oh, fuck that.
in the juice box, and I want to die. It's disgusting.
Paper straws piss me off.
Yeah, it's the worst. Like, this thing is already soggy.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, I watched Wild at Heart, one of the last few
Lynch?
David Lynch's, yeah, that I hadn't
Yeah.
seen. This movie fucking rips. Oh my God, it's crazy. It's absolutely insane. I didn't really know what I was getting into when I started this movie, and the first scene, Nicolas Cage walks up to a guy that tries to stab him and like literally pulverizes his face on some stairs. It's crazy.
W.
Nicolas Cage is unhinged in this movie. Laura Dern is a smoke show. It's Willem Dafoe is fucking nuts in this movie, dude. He's got
Love
these.
it.
I saw Willem Dafoe pop up on the credits at the start, and I was like doing backflips. I was so hyped. This
Yeah.
movie is
Hey,
so much fun.
okay. Here's the thing I'm about to say. I just thought about it, so don't judge. But what if Willem Dafoe is just Nick Cage if Nick Cage didn't do shitty movies? If he just did all of his good movies?
Yeah, honestly,
I feel
kind
like
of
they have the same amount of eccentricity, or they're both very, very eccentric,
yeah,
and they both can do weird things with their faces. They're goofy,
true.
they're fun. They choose
Both good
weird
actors too.
roles. Yeah, both are good actors, even though Nick Cage chooses some questionable roles.
It's actually kind of a W, honestly. Like, yeah,
Yeah, love Willem
it's
Dafoe.
there's a scene with the two of them near the end, and I was laughing so fucking hard at it. Like, you should watch this movie. It's just a good time.
I'll have to check
It's
it out.
super horny and it's violent and it's like convoluted David Lynch shit at times, you know, the classics. It's really good.
On on a scale of easily accessible to very unaccessible, where
Oh,
would you rate it as far as at
this
least
is
David Lynch films
the most
go?
accessible movie of his that I've seen. It's
Okay.
the plot is Nicolas Cage goes to jail for fucking that dude's face up at the beginning, and he gets out and he wants to go see his girlfriend, and then they go on a road trip.
Cool.
It's not a sci-fi or a horror or anything like
Oh
trippy.
yeah.
Yeah, it's
Cool.
really good. I give that 4 stars with a heart. Really good time.
W.
Then I finally watched Avatar: Way of the Water. I was touched by Awa.
Oh yeah. Was it good?
Peak. Yeah, it's peak. It's
Yeah.
visually stunning, except I
I
did
need.
fall asleep at one point.
I have
I was
not.
sleepy.
I have not watched it yet. Uh, because I didn't really like the first Avatar.
Oh,
I
I
thought it was
love the
quite
first one.
boring. Um, I don't know. It's gonna be a while before I get around to that. Have to be like a day where like I literally have nothing better to do, and I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
fine, I'll watch it.
Yeah, shout out Ryan. Like this movie's peak. It and Isaac in the Real
Yeah,
Talk Discord. James Cameron, Meat Riders.
yeah,
Yeah, peak. Really, really good. The pacing was great. I didn't feel the runtime at all
yeah.
because it's longer than the first one. It's a long movie.
Oh
It's
fuck!
visually
The
nuts.
first one is so long too.
This one's 3 hours and 12 minutes, I think.
Jesus Christ.
Yes, but oh my god, it's one of the best looking movies I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Very peak. Uh Yeah, and then I'll touch on this one, then shoot it back to you. I watched this coming of age movie, We the Animals.
Yeah.
Amazing movie. Remy recommended this to me. He's the guy that recommended me Close and the Eight Mountains and Rice Boy Sleeps. Phenomenal film. So I was like, yep, I'll watch this. This is like it's a story about 3 young brothers and they're just kind of working their way through childhood. They got a piece of shit abusive dad and a mom who's like just kind of in and out of things, and oh my god, it was so good. It made me cry. I loved it. Yeah,
That's a W.
very emotional. It's like touches on discovering sexuality and stuff like that. It's
Mhm.
really really good.
Yeah, I just added it to my watch list.
Yeah, and it's really short too. It's like 92 minutes or something.
Dude,
Blazes
we gotta
by.
get Remy on here.
Yeah, we'll do a whole episode, and me and Remy are just gonna yap about the leftovers, and then we'll talk about
Yeah, dude.
coming of age movies.
Yeah.
What did you
Um.
watch next?
Uh. Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom.
Oh,
Hadn't given it a rewatch in a while. People hate on this movie too much, man. It's so good. It's so good.
yeah,
You got, I mean, Short Round. Short Round is at least 3 stars. Uh, I mean, you got Short Round and Indy freeing a bunch of child slaves. That's dope. You got some crazy body horror. That's dope. It's just a good time. People hate on this one too much. It's
dude,
so
that
damn
thing you
good.
said
Four and a
about
half
short round.
stars.
Oh, 4.5. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
That thing you said about short round being instant 3 stars. That's like Willem Dafoe. It's like the Willem Dafoe tax credit. Just he's in a movie, instant
Yep.
three and a half
Instant
stars,
star. There we
no
go.
matter what. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. I need to rewatch that. My brother was a diehard Indiana Jones fan. Like he watched The Last Crusade every single day in 1 month.
That's the best one, I think.
He's actually going, I think, in February. You know the scene when he's on the horse with the tank?
Yeah.
So he's getting on his like shoulder tricep area.
Yeah, he's getting a
That
tattoo,
chase.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you told me
Um
about this a couple weeks
yeah.
ago, I think.
Yeah. Super
That's
sick.
hype.
He
But yeah,
loves that. So I
Temple of Doom is a blast. It's really fun. Um, I know Steven Spielberg has said about this movie that he out exorcised the Exorcist
yeah.
with all the Kali stuff, like Kalima, Kalima,
Yeah.
Kalima. That shit is batshit crazy, but this movie's a blast. It's a good time.
Yeah.
All right, you want to give us your last few?
Yeah, last night yesterday I watched Platoon. Peak.
W.
And then I watched Mamma Mia last night. Fucking
W.
peak. Better than
Is.
Grease, by the way.
Yes, Grease is like not aged well at
Yeah.
all.
I've seen Mamma Mia 5 times now, I think 4 or 5 times. Every time, it's just so fun.
That's
Uh, my
W.
my letterbox review says Damien Chazelle wishes he could have gotten Pierce Brosnan to sing in La La Land because holy shit, what a bad singer Pierce Brosnan is. But he went out there and he did it, and it was pretty bad. But he looked like he was having fun. So you know what? Props to him. And then this morning, Mamma Mia is 5 stars. Yeah, this morning I watched Blade Runner for the first time in a long time.
W.
And yeah, Blade Runner is like arguably the greatest science fiction film of all time. It's
Yeah.
so insane. This is maybe for its time the best looking movie of all time. Like it's crazy how fucking good this movie looks. And I didn't even watch it on 4K. I wish I did. It has amazing world building. Harrison Ford is just such a cool dude. Like Rick Deckard is just a beast.
Mhm.
Um Yeah, and then the tears in the rain moment at the end is like an all-timer scene. It's just so peak.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna rewatch 2049 soon because I haven't seen it since theaters. Um and see if my opinion changes because as of now Blade Runner is better than 2049.
Yeah. Okay.
Uh
You want to talk about zone of interest?
yeah. What a movie. I've been waiting for this movie for a long time and
Mhm.
holy shit, my expectations were exceeded. It's it's an astounding film. It's so unique in its portrayal of the Holocaust
Yeah.
because if you don't know, there's not a lick of violence in this movie. There's no blood, there's no gore, there's no gun like killings. This
Mhm.
movie is a very normal day-to-day life of a family living in a big house just having fun. And
Yeah.
this house is attached to Auschwitz.
Okay.
Yeah, there's just a wall dividing them. So how this movie plays out is you're watching a birthday party, and in the skyline you see like a little cabana, and then just like train steam coming overhead, and you know new arrivals are coming in, or
Mhm.
they're eating dinner, and you can just hear gunshots and screaming and like pleading. And at nighttime you can see like the incinerators flaming up and the skies are blood red.
Yeah.
This is a technical marvel. It's crazy. This movie is told through its sound design. It's some of the best sound design I've ever seen. Like
Yeah.
it is so incredibly haunting how casual they are, and it's an interesting movie. A lot of people just think it's boring because not a lot happens. You're watching them, have birthday parties and dinners and family events, and it's it's very tough to watch because to hear the dialogue sometimes you have to tune out the noise of Auschwitz. You need to tune out the machines and the gunshots.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's really a film that if you can see it in the theaters, go see it because it's just so powerful. There's barely any music in this movie.
Yeah.
There's mute. It's kind of like 2001: A Space Odyssey, where it opens and it's just a black screen with like music, and then in the middle they do that again, and at the end they do that. Like that's really the only music in the movie. It's just this sound of the camp. It's fucking terrifying.
Yeah.
I'm going to see it again today because I just need to while I can because it's a theater experience that I'm curious to see how it holds up at home. Like you'd have to watch it on a loud TV.
Yeah.
Some of the reviews for this movie are crazy. People dogging it for being boring, or yeah, it's crazy. My theater experience was pretty shit when I saw it, so I'm hoping that it's better this time. Some lady's phone rang 3 separate times, and she didn't put it on silent.
That's sick, dude.
It was it
God,
was
how dumb could you
disgusting.
be?
I know. She just put her hand in her purse and let it ring, like she was trying to find it. But it just kept going, and it happened a bunch of times. Like it was crazy.
Yeah, that's
And
so
then
dumb.
at a scene where a character is gagging, just out of nowhere, somebody yelled out poison. Yelled that out during the, and I was like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" It was such an annoying theater experience because, yeah, this is like it's kind of like
That's
a
so
quiet
stupid.
place where you want the theater to be super quiet.
Yeah.
Um, yeah,
The theater is the only place in the world where I will tell people I don't know to shut the fuck up.
yeah,
It God, that gets under my nerves so
yeah.
much.
So I'm hoping today is better. I'm going with my
Yeah,
grandma, who's also like a big. She loves movies. Like
massive W.
she likes that indie shit. So one thing that's really I thought was I don't know if this is like a choice that he made, but the subtitles for this movie are tiny and they're just snuck to the as close as possible to the bottom of the screen.
Mm,
It's
interesting.
yeah. Yeah, go see the Zone of Interest if you can. It's really hard to find. I I don't know if it's playing near you or whatever, but yeah, go
Yeah,
see it.
that's one I'll probably have to wait for until I go to streaming. But
Yeah.
for a movie like that, like I put in my AirPods and I lay in bed in the
Yeah.
dark and turn it up really loud, so I'm just
Yeah.
like locked
That's
in.
the way you to watch it at home.
Yeah.
Uh yeah. So there we go.
Well, my last one. Well, obviously Platoon, but we've already talked about that.
Yeah.
Let's see. Oh, I don't even have to go back to my diary. I know what it is. I watched Nicholas Winding Refn's. Is that how you say his name?
Yeah.
Okay. The Neon Demon with Elle
Dude.
Fanning. Have you seen this?
Yeah, I love Nicholas Winding Refn. He's one of my favorite
V-
directors.
I think he might be one of the greatest visual storytellers I've
Yeah.
ever seen. Visually, his movies are so fucking immaculate, dude.
Yeah.
It's God, he's so good. And this movie had some really great body horror to it.
Yes.
Jenna Malone is in it, and she's great.
Mhm.
Keanu Reeves just makes an appearance out of
Yeah.
nowhere,
Jump scare.
and plays an absolute dickhole.
Yeah, he was like the hotel manager, right?
Yeah. Elle Fanning was great. Really creepy, really unsettling, visually amazing. I gave it 4.5. There was this. Do you watch anything on Amazon Prime, Evan?
Yeah. Yeah.
So, do you know how they'll do like the trivia in the
Oh
corner?
yeah.
So, there was this trivia part where, like, and if you're under the age of like 15 or you don't want to hear us talking about gross stuff, skip this part. But you know the scene where Jenna Malone basically molests the dead body?
Yeah.
So, originally in the script, that scene was only, the trivia said that scene was only supposed to be Jenna Malone kissing the dead body, but then live on set improvised, Jenna Malone proceeded to get on top of it and molest the corpse.
Jesus Christ.
And I'm like, cool. So Jenna Malone is kind of a psycho. Okay.
Yep.
Uh, but yeah, amazing film. Go check it out if you haven't. Really
Yeah.
weird.
Have you seen his other movies?
Only Drive. But I'm now this is an excuse to get deeper
Yeah.
into it
Sorry.
because I was just so entranced with this one. It
I'm
was
very
really good.
curious to see if you will like Only God Forgives. Because
Yeah,
it's not a
my
very good movie, but visually it's really cool.
Only God Forgives is the show, right?
No, that's Too Old to Die Young. Only God Forgives is
Oh, is that the one with
with Ryan
Gosling?
Gosling. Yeah,
Yeah, okay.
it's sick.
Uh, yeah, I'm excited for that
Too Old
one.
to Die Young is crazy. That is one of the slowest paced TV shows I've ever watched.
My
It's
dad really likes it.
it's cool. I like it.
Yeah. But yeah, that's the average film enjoyer for today.
Yeah.
Join us Friday, where we bring back Jagger and review Eyes Wide Shut and Full Metal Jacket. On Tuesday, we're reviewing Rocky. And next Friday, we'll see. If you want to have a say in what director we do our director deep dive in next, go down below. The link is in the bio, or the link is in the description. Click on it. Give us your opinion. It takes like a minute. We're trying to get as many votes as possible. Right now, Christopher Nolan is in the lead. If you don't want us to review Christopher Nolan movies, then go
Yeah.
vote. Go vote for someone else.
If you don't want to hear me glaze Tenet for 3 hours straight, go vote for someone else because I'm gonna do it when we get to Tenet.
Love. I haven't seen it yet, but I think I'm gonna
Oh
love
my
it.
god.
Uh, if you want to follow us on our socials, Evan is Evan0567 on Letterboxd, and I'm Trey the Film Noob, basically everywhere. If you're watching this on YouTube, share us with your friends. Our viewership has been going crazy. It's been very, very high viewership. So keep sharing us with your friends. Like our videos. Subscribe to our channel so you can get alerts when we post new episodes and new content. If you're on Spotify, follow us, please. Share it. Everybody, share us.
Give us
Share us.
5 stars.
We give us 5 stars. Yes, please. Good point, Evan. And yeah, thank you for joining us on the Average Film Enjoyer today. It was a blast. I apologize for how sick I am. Don't really know what happened. I just kind of woke up and it was like, man, I feel like shit.
I hate that.
Dude, it's fucking worst. But yeah, we will see you on Friday for our review of Full Metal Jacket and Eyes Wide Shut.